Hi everyone, welcome back to Fresher to Engineer YouTube channel. Let's follow one complete DNS lookup from beginning to end. Imagine you open your browser and type www.amazon.in. Browser does not send request over internet directly. First it checks its own browser cache. Modern browser maintain cache of recently visited website. If you are recently opened Amazon, then browser may already know its IP address. If IP address is found here, the DNS lookup is complete. No network request is needed. Suppose browser doesn't have the answer. Then it asks operating system. Your operating system, whether it's Windows, Linux, or Mac OS, also maintain its own DNS cache. Since multiple applications on your computer can use DNS, operating system keeps a shared cache. If operating system finds IP address, it immediately returns it to browser. Again, no DNS request is sent over the internet. Suppose operating system also doesn't have the answer. Now only does your laptop send DNS request to DNS Resolver. For most DNS lookups, this request is sent using the UDP protocol. UDP is a lightweight and fast because it doesn't establish connection before the sending data. Since DNS queries and responses are usually very small, UDP is an ideal protocol for DNS lookups. The request reaches the DNS resolver, but the DNS resolver checks something before contacting the internet. It first checks its own resolver cache. Remember, thousands or even millions of users may have recently visited or requested www.amazon.in. If another user has already looked up the same domain recently, then Resolver may have already known the answer. If the answer is available in Resolver cache, it immediately returns IP address to your laptop. Root server, TLD server, or Authoritative DNS server are never contacted. This caching significantly reduces internet traffic and makes DNS much faster. The resolver sends query to nearest root DNS server. Remember, thanks to Anycast, the request automatically reaches nearest root server replica. The resolver asks, where can I find information about .in domain? The root server replies, I don't know Amazon IP address, but these are the top level domain servers responsible for .in domains. Notice something important. Root server never forwards your request, it simply returns the referral to appropriate TLD server. Resolver now contacts the top level domain server. It asks who is responsible for Amazon.in. The TLD server replies, I don't know Amazon IP address, but here is an authoritative DNS server responsible for Amazon.in. Again, notice that TLD server also doesn't know the IP address. It only knows where to find the authoritative DNS server. Now Resolver contacts Amazon's authoritative DNS server. It asks, what is the IP address for Amazon.in? This time, authoritative DNS server has the answer and it returns the IP address associated with www.amazon.in. The resolver stores this response in its own cache for future requests. Then it sends the IP address back to your laptop. Your operating system may cache the result. Also, your browser may cache it as well. That's why when you visit a website second time, the lookup is much faster. Once browser receives the IP address, it establishes new HTTPS connection over the TCP to Amazon server using destination IP address. Then it sends the HTTP request asking for web pages. Then Amazon server responds with HTML, CSS, images, and other resources that are required to display website. So remember, DNS translate domain names into IP address. And this is how all DNS lookup works. If you found this video helpful, like the video, subscribe to Fresher to Engineer YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.